Welcome to Bump Set Chat, the podcast where volleyball professionals come on and share their stories, experiences, and advice. Today, I'm truly honored. I have the coach from Team Canada. Welcome.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Barry. It's a pleasure and honor for me to be here.
Dude, it's really mine. You know, meeting you up in Ottawa there in the summer was it was a wonderful experience to meet you, talk with you, and just see you with your players and how you interact with the players and the coaches. It was really amazing to see.
Thank you. I mean, it was my way. It is my way. So yeah. I don't know any other way. So I don't know if it is correct or wrong, but I think we need to do what we believe.
Yes, absolutely. All right. So the way we start things off was we do a few random questions. So are you ready?
Let's see.
All right. You're going on a long trip. You can take one movie and one album with you. So what movie are you taking? And I'm sure the album you're taking is going to be something from you too.
Yeah. Okay. But I recently become also a big fan of Coldplay because I went to a couple concerts. But yeah, for sure, I would take maybe one album. I don't know, one album is too less, but okay, someone between the Joshua Tree and Unforgettable Fire.
Yeah.
From you two, and movie, probably I would take something between The Miracle, about an hockey team, or Any Given Sunday, about the American football team. So something between there.
All right. So now you've had a little bit of time in Canada, you know, how have you had Hawaiian pizza, you know, and does pineapple belong on a pizza?
No, about pizza, I'm pretty picky. So the people that don't know me, that know me, they know that I'm not, you know, super, you know, patriotic and everything has to be from Italy. No, but about pizza, I'm really picky. So I will never go for an American or a Canadian pizza. I will try to find the best Italian pizza in town. And I have to say, I found a couple pretty good in Vancouver. So no pineapple for sure.
All right. And staying on the food subject, you know, you're making supper. What would your wife say is your best meal you make?
Pizza.
Okay.
For sure. Yes, I can do a pretty decent pizza at home, following the recipe of my sisters, and yeah, pizza. I'm not bad.
All right,
and basically the only thing I can do except grill some meat.
All right, all right. Well, hey, welcome to the podcast, and let's go back to the beginning. You know, where are you from?
I am from Modena. That is a town in Italy, in the north part of Italy, and is well known for many things. I mean, every good balsamic vinegar, never buy if it's not written Modena in the label. And same like, you know, Maserati, Ferrari, they come from Modena. Pavarotti was in the same class with my father.
Oh, wow.
And so, I mean, it's a town, and it also is a town where there is a lot of volleyball, a lot of folk. That's why probably it's not soccer is not the first sport, and volleyball was always very, very famous in Modena. For many years they had probably the best men and women team in the first league in Italy. And yeah, it's a town with great food and a lot of volleyball. Also, nice. My good friend Massimo Barbolini also come from Modena. He was even actually my coach when I was young.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, for a few years. I mean, it's the age is different, not so big, but I have the chance to be coach from him too.
Oh, nice. And speaking of volleyball, when did you first discover volleyball?
This was easy because my father was a professional coach, professional volleyball coach. Just the age where he was coaching, he was not letting him to be only volleyball professional coach, you know, because you have a family, and at this time there was not so much money in volleyball, and with the risk, you know, to be fired and then losing the job. So he always was a sport teacher in school, and at the same time a volleyball coach. My sister were playing volleyball, so I mean, I started super young, you know, to enjoy the sport. I was spending all my summers playing 6-8 years a day. I'm not joking. Really, 6-8 hours a day playing beach volley or green volley with a friend. And when my sister were playing, not in a super top level, but I was following my sister. I was waiting the match finish to go to attack on the wall. So it was a love from the first moment I met with volleyball. I still remember when I was a young kid. I was playing 1-against-1 with myself. So
Yeah.
just with this floating balloon,
Yeah.
and and one net between two doors, and going one side and other side. So it was always volleyball with me. Then I have kind of a broken moment when, because I was a young player in Modena team. So in this time the name was Panini, was very famous team, and I was the best in my age till
Mhm.
under 14. But they said that they couldn't take me over because I was too small, and they already bought a lot of other players from other cities. So I have this broken moment where I went into tennis like crazy. But then after 16, 17, I went back to volleyball, and yeah, I
Okay.
played. I played till the fourth league, and then I start to be coach very, very, very young.
All right. And then for you, what is the hook that volleyball has on you that has turned into this amazing career for you, and you're still involved with it?
Oh, there are many. Uh, it's there is not a reason why you love somebody. Of course, when you love somebody, maybe you are attracted on somebody. You like the looking, you like something. But then the love is so big. There is not one explanation. I love this person because tack 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 tack. If not, you would love 200 million person. There are other person with the same characteristics. So it is love, as you know. So it's something that is in my blood. This morning I was having a conversation with my friend Marcello Abondante, and we were telling that we were really, speaking each other. And one moment we were really talking. Yeah, we are very lucky because we are not working. We are just doing what we like,
Yeah.
and they pay us to do what we like to do. So it is passion, it is love. And of course there are many things that I love from volleyball. The first thing that I there is not one day that, for example, I do the same exactly training like the day before, because every day I have to invent something new.
Yeah.
I like to invent something new. So this is one thing that I love. And for example, for me, one of the most fascinating things in volleyball, I always explain this to my player, is that the volleyball is the most crowded sport in the world. That means it's the sport with the mm, biggest amount of people in the smallest amount of square meter.
Yep.
So that means that if I do like this in the volleyball court, everybody will question what Giovanni is doing, because the coach may sometimes know, but the player for sure, they see each other continuously, they are touching each other continuously. And there are so many chances for interaction, because every point is top, so the mental and the mental aspect and the communication aspect, and the atmosphere and the chemistry that is inside the team is very, very important.
Yeah.
I believe more than any other sport, because still basketball, a lot of people, but it's so quick. There is barely time to talk. In soccer, I don't think the goalkeeper can even spend one word with the one in front, because
Right.
they are so wide. So volleyball is pretty fascinating for me about that. So, and that's why I love this sport so much.
Nice. And I heard later in your volleyball career, your dad actually was coaching you.
Absolutely, yes. We have also some funny story we have, but okay. And after, if you want, I can tell. But yeah, but he was coaching me, and because he couldn't keep going professional level, but he was really always into volleyball. So, and I was wanted to play volleyball, and I was enjoying the game. So I finished to be in his team. We were in the fourth league in Italy, and was already the good league, with good player, with good level, and we were training almost every day, playing Saturday. It was fun. It was a fun part of my life, between, let's say, 18 to 22 years old, kind of.
Yeah. Nice. And I understand, coaching and teaching is in your blood, whether it's your mom teaching art, your sisters are teaching. So you had no choice but to become a teacher or a coach.
Yes, yes, this is pretty impressive. All my family, my mother was yeah, like you say, he was teaching art. My father teaching school all his life. He was also professor at university of volleyball. He's even qualified tennis teacher. So my father was everything inside teaching. My sister are teacher school too. One ancient Latin and Greece, the other mathematics. So we were always there, but it was pretty clear that I could have been success in anything else than sport because let's say, I was not a great student. I was always find all the excuse to go down and play with my friend. At this time, I
Yeah.
believe we were very lucky kids because we were just going down to our road and play soccer and tennis and volleyball. It was possible to play everything between the friends, and I was doing this a lot.
Yeah.
So I was not a great student, but yeah, teaching. I remember I was already teacher in a summer camp when I was like 17, 18 years old, and then I mean, I was my first professional job. I was in second league in Italy when I was 23 years old. So
Wow.
this is pretty young. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and you chose to go into a career that is not an easy career. It's hard on, getting a job, and if you have a family, try to be successful. And like here in the States, to get your foot in, you're volunteering, maybe coaching somewhere, coaching high school, coaching a couple of volleyball clubs. What is the path over in Europe for, to try to get your foot in a door somewhere and coach?
I think it's not so different. And of course, you guys have the college, we have the clubs, we have the professional clubs,
Yeah.
so it's different. Probably for you guys, even you have more opportunities in Europe because the number of colleges, especially in America, is
Right.
insane. So, and I think in volleyball is like, like I don't know what are the other job, but I started coaching the mini volley. So the kids that were like 8, 9, 10 years old, then
Yeah.
they asked me to coach an under 14. Then they asked me to coach a not a regional, I mean, a kind of between half regional league, so where you're still coaching very young player, but mostly around our town. And then because I was pretty good player, then one club, one coach wanted to me, okay, you start to coach and you are a good volleyball player, so you can help us in training. So I start to become assistant coach, and yeah, then I had this sliding door that they fired this head coach very early, and the president asked me, Giovanni, you want to take the team? I said, I mean, let me think about. But you remember that I am 23 years old, and there are players here that are 35 years old. There was a captain of Italian national team. There was captain of United States national team in this time. His name is Tamilaile. There was a very nice player from Russia called Tatiana Sidorenko. So are you sure? Said yes, we are sure. Okay, take one night tomorrow. Give me the answer. Then I went to my father and I asked what I have to do. I mean, give me. I said, go take this opportunity for sure. You are ready. He told me, but remember just to listen more than talk because the player have much more experience than you. And then I started, and it was successful. And then because I was a young coach, then Velasco wanted me to help him in the national team. And so I found myself in national team like third assistant coach because I was really pretty good to play every position and attack on the player, serve on the player. This 8 hour a day of beach volley
Yeah.
helped a lot. My ball contact, so I was very precise. And then Velasco, took this job in soccer, and his assistant Angelino Frigoni became the head coach, and Angelino Frigoni asked me to be assistant coach, and suddenly, after 3 years, I was assistant coach of Italian national team, and we took part in Sydney Olympic. That was the first Olympic of Italy. And then, okay, I started to coach also Club Italia, and then I started to travel all around the world, and then suddenly I found myself in 18 seasons in a row in Vakibank. That this was the most unexpected, adventure of my life.
Right, absolutely. And when you became head coach, those early years, what were some of the more challenging things?
I mean, I was lucky that I became head coach when, I mean, first of all, I had to make my first big choice of my life. So I started university, and they asked me to be professional coach. So kind of, so what I have to do. So I cannot keep going, to be the university if I am professional coach,
Right.
because it's impossible, So okay, I take this risk, I become head coach. But still, I was a very young man, single, so with nothing to lose,
Right.
I can see that, for example, I had for many years a great assistant coach, near to me in Vakibank. His name is Saim Pakan, that he has a family, he has two kids, So this year he's making the step to become head coach, because he will be the coach of Turkish Airlines. But for many years it was of course, very worried that, okay, I will become head coach, but what if I lose the job? What
Right.
if I lose 3 matches and they fire me? How can I help my family? So it's still our job, is still crazy, I believe. Who want to do this job inside is a little crazy,
Yeah.
because there is in Europe the money, is not at the beginning, especially, is not so much that you can say, okay, they can fire me, and then, like you are in soccer, for example, in soccer they fire you, you can have a great life for the next 20 years of your life,
Right.
without working, but in volleyball it's not like this. So you need a little bit of craziness, and I was lucky that I didn't have any issue, to make these choices at the beginning,
Yeah.
And I was super, super lucky, to have the chance to stay in Vakibank for 17 years, and have the chance to grow my daughter, eh, creating a family with my wife Bahar, and stay in the same city, give to my daughter this, at least on the same school, and so on and so on. But this is difficult, so
Yeah.
I really understand that I was really lucky. That's why my morning gratitude is very important, because it was not a common career what I had.
Yeah. Absolutely. And how is current day coach different than first couple of years coach?
I think if I see myself, okay, of course I see a lot of differences, but not huge. So I still believe that, okay, for sure, I'm working less hours than before.
Yeah.
I remember when I started with Germany, there was not one day that we don't reach the 8 hour a day. Then you start to, and the players were not complaining at all, because there was no chance to complain,
Right.
and there was not even a way to complain, not that I can complain. It was totally different time,
Mm-hmm.
and then was bringing result, but then you start to study more, the science start to tell you that maybe it's not what you need, and then you want, of course, less injury, you want the player keep going, the motivation, because, and especially now, with the young player, it's difficult to keep them motivated and stay, and stay committed, because the possibility are many, and there are so million of different opportunity in the world, so. But I believe that at the end, if you record myself in a training of 20 years ago, you record myself in the training of now, I would bet money that you don't see huge difference, except in my body, of course.
Yeah.
And I believe that it's still a job that requires a lot of energy, still a job that requires a lot of effort. Still, I try to coach in the same way, So if I don't like something, I say. If something is bad, I say, So I still not worry, if a player will be offended. Of course, I never offend the player in my life, but I don't worry if a player is hurt, okay? If he's hurt, okay, I will talk with her at the end. But if something is wrong, something is wrong.
Yeah.
If the player don't fall down, the player has to learn how to fall down. If the team is not pushing hard, I have to make something that the player pushing hard, So I try to stay with to this principle that I think are very important, and also that I believe that unfortunately we lost a little bit, and I don't know why. I think, yeah, because I heard, and I listened at one time, one coach, in college made a punishment, and then the coach lost his job or was out, and then these things are insane, So
Right.
me and many colleagues would have lost many jobs probably, with this kind of rule. So, and this, of course, this can scare a lot of people, and but I don't know any other way.
Yep.
I cannot see a player that don't fall down and say, okay, good job.
Right.
You will fall down the next one. No, if you don't fall down, there has to be some consequences.
Yep.
So I don't have to kill you, but I have to. We are trying. We are trying to be the best of the world. So to be the best of the world, you have to do what the most of the world is not willing to do and
Yep.
is not doing. So you need to try, you need to go over the edge, and but if it is too much, we have a talk. If it's still too much, probably this is not your path, this
Yep.
is not your way, so that's it. And I think I am lucky, that I knew the old way, and I still sticking on it, and I say, okay, if they don't like my way, okay, they can find another one.
Right.
And probably, I can still find another job, but I understand that for the young coaches is more complicated, because, and I speak with my sister too, they're teacher in school, and of course it's different,
Yes.
of course it's different. I remember when I make my first year, one morning there was, like kind of school strike, so everybody say, hey, there is. I remember it was one meaningful, another was really like there was not enough mozzarella in the pizza, so
Yeah.
the snack in school. So okay, today nobody in school to protest about the mozzarella in the pizza. It's okay, today no school, and nobody was in school, the student this time. And I remember my father, said, "Come with me," and he bring me back to school immediately, So and now if my sister, give a bad vote to a student, the next day the parents go to my sister, that my child cried, my child studied so hard, why you do that? I said, but come on, so I like a lot a quote, that I listened, I don't know where, that the kids are the same, because the kids, they born without nothing, they
Right.
born with empty brain that have to be filled continuously, but the parents change so much.
Yes.
So this is, I think, the main issue. So it's not the kids that these are not the kids that are different, but the parents, we became different.
Yeah.
I can see myself, so and of course, be parent is the most difficult job in this
It
world.
is.
But I believe this is,
Yeah.
so and that's why I don't like, the kids now, I don't like this kind of topic. The kids now are what we teach them to be,
That's so
are
true.
what we let them be, because also I didn't want to study, I didn't like school at all.
Yeah.
But if my parents would have let me do what I wanted to do, I wanted to play volleyball and soccer for 10 hours a day, I was not going to school, but they never let this happen, that
Yep.
they just, you can do that if you have the good result, and
Right.
so on and so on.
Yep.
Also, my daughter is in school, okay, she's very young, she's 8 years old, but she's good, she's bad, is at the end, always calm, everything is 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. It's not correct, I
Right.
believe. I believe my daughter is not good in French. So why in French she still have 10 like in English?
Yep.
In English she's pretty good. In French she's not good at all, I can see, but she still have 10. So how she can understand that something is wrong? So the society have, I believe, to come back to to better way to educate our kids, so our kids, they can come back to be like we were.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
But
And
it's not their fault.
no, not at all. I love that. I love that story, that quote. The kids are the same as they were 20 years ago, 30 years ago. It is the parents' thoughts and yeah, no, that's really good. And now, you yourself, you've coached all over the world, Italy, Turkey, Germany, Serbia. even in the US, which I didn't know, and now in Canada, what are some of the things you look forward to when you come into a new country?
The first thing that I do is to respect the country 100%. So the first thing that, for example, even if I can, I would never come to a different country with more than one, maximum two assistants.
Yep.
If really they don't have nothing like happened, then I can take a third assistant, but then I want a big, the majority of the staff have to be local, because I have to learn from them how the player learn to volleyball in this country, what the player are used to do, what they are not used to do, what I can do, what I cannot do, and I want to learn from the country where I am as much as I can. So this is the first thing that I like to do. I would never come in a country with, I don't know, 5, 6, 7, Italians. I would never do that. I always try 2, maximum 3 people, with me, because I want also to keep a very, very strong identity from other people. That's why if you come, even in Vakibank is like this, and in Canada is like this. There are one Italian in Vakibank that is Vanni Miale, my athletic trainer, and one Italian, is half Italian, half Canadian, that is Vincenzo, and Malia, that is my assistant coach here in Canada. I talk with them 90% in English.
Yeah.
Okay. So really, if we are one-to-one in a pizzeria, then I will talk Italian with them. But even in the training, even in the office, when we are talking about what we did yesterday, I try to talk, in English, because it's very important for me, this respect and the language of the team. That is something that I like to talk. And so, and then, I try to combine my way, with the way this team were used to, So, for example, in Serbia was mandatory, to train 3 days, double training, 1 day off, 3 days, 1 off. Do I believe in this? Yes and no, but this is their way,
Right.
So I cannot go against that, because they believe in that so much, and so, okay, I accept. In Canada, people used to train once a day, and I'm doing also in Vakibank this. Okay, so it's good once a day, Then inside the training, of course, we have to do my way, That's what they call me here and they pay me to do. But I try to combine as much as I can.
Okay, very cool. And now, when you made that jump to start coaching a national team and at the same time coaching a club team, was it hard trying to balance and approach coaching 2 different sort of dynamics along with players that have different mindsets?
It is totally different. Absolutely. It is totally different. And that's why probably I never become bored, because it's very different, so it's totally different job. And I always like to explain that the club, in the club, you have the player that you want.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. According on the budget of the club, of course. I'm pretty lucky that in Vakibank can have, let's say, 80% of the player that I want, then the other 20, I will take the best we can, And in national team, you have what you have. There is no, I want this player, let's take this player. Well, no, you have what you have, So the national team job for me is so fascinating, because you have to do the best you can without buying nothing else. It's like, to enter in a kitchen, with 20 ingredients, and they tell you, do the best you can. And the other is enter in a supermarket and they say, buy what you want to prepare the best you can. Okay, so it's very, very different. So when you can create a great dish, from what you can, it's very satisfying. It's very, it's a great challenge, but also at the same time it's a great thing, And I like also a lot the teaching part, So in national team, you have players, they are young, they are, they are new, and they are not there for the money. Okay, of course, be good in national team will give money to them after, but they are there for just because they want to be there.
Right.
And in Canada, like in many other national teams, so being national team doesn't give you any money. Probably they are losing money to be national team.
Right.
Right? So it's not like national team like Turkey or other country, that. But in Canada or they are not gaining money, so they are here because they want to, and who is here and want to be here, then is very, very nice. You want to give them everything you can, and it's different. It's totally different. I mean, it's a lovely. I love the two job the most, and I believe the national team is for everybody another job than a club.
Right.
Okay. Even if you check the consequences, probably the club is more heavy, more difficult, because in the club I have to win. So if Vakibank don't win any cup, it would be a big failure. If Vakibank don't qualify for every final, it would be a big failure, big unsuccess. So there is incredible pressure every time. In Canada, for example, now, okay, I don't win, I win. I mean, we know that we cannot win too much this year. We want to improve, want to become better. It's different, and there is
a roadmap, a longer strategy.
Yeah. In the club is tack.
Yeah.
That's why every month, unfortunately, you see coaches that are fired in the clubs.
Yeah.
Basically starting from November, December, January, February. These 4 months in Europe. Unfortunately, many coaches are losing a job because no result go. National team, you really have to build this.
Mm-hmm.
You have to build, so you have time. So I love both jobs. So I love competing and winning. And try to win everything in Vakibank. I love to building and creating players and try to do the best of we can here in Canada. And I mean, I love volleyball, and I love what I'm doing. I'm pretty lucky.
That's excellent. You've coached and been around some of the best players to ever play this game, like Gabby. What are the things that you've noticed that separate good players versus the great ones?
How many hours we have?
We don't have much.
I can say two things. That for me are the key, to understand which player is a great player, can become a champion, which player will stay always a mediocre one. Two things. The first one, the player like Gabi, the player like Boskovic, the player like, Onjenovic, Gios, Zerami, so the top player in the world. They are very, very, very good doing the thing that they don't like to do.
Yeah.
This is the first thing. That's why, and I already know always when I meet an extraordinary player, I go to my athletic trainer and I ask how she's in fitness. He told me the best of everybody. Okay, but no one player like to be in fitness. No one, but the best of the best, they want to be the best in everything they do, and they know that fitness is heavy, it's not fun at all, but it will help them to become better. The extraordinary player is great in cover.
Yeah.
Okay, the cover is the garbage of volleyball. So and who want to collect this garbage means that it will be a great player, because doesn't give you nothing to take a cover.
Yeah.
But will help your team to make a point. So the first thing, be very good in do the thing that you don't like to do. The second thing is, I call the rule of yes, coach. So the best player that I coach in my life, let's say Gabi. Gabi, I think that, you're moving your left foot, too late. Thanks, coach. Gabi, attack linea. Okay, coach. Gabi, maybe you can tip in 4. Okay, coach. The mediocre player Okay, say, okay, okay, let's say make a tip. Yeah, but if I make a tip, then maybe, but probably better than, I have to do it. They start to explain everything.
Yeah.
So this is clear. This is clear. The amazing player is, I will try, coach. Yes, coach.
Yep.
The mediocre player want to explain you why and how and when. Okay, so then this is incredible for me. I met so many and they're all same. And that's why I really believe that the extraordinary player are the most easy to be coached.
Yep.
Of course, you need to get their trust.
Yes.
Okay, because if you say, attack linear and they take 3-time block linear, then they will not listen you anymore because they want to make point. So of course you need, but they will never find an excuse. They will never try to explain nothing. And this is for me the two main characteristics.
Okay. And then, staying on that topic of great players, when you're working with somebody like Gabby, what is your role as a coach? Are you fine tuning details, or is it more creating an environment for her to shine in?
I don't think I need to create an environment to shine because they will shine anywhere.
Right.
So I think my job with this kind of player, okay, my main job is to not let them play and train under their standard. Okay, so what I like to say to this kind of player said, hey, I want to make, you will know that I will not let you do the things that maybe I will accept from other players.
Yeah.
Because I know you are capable of much more. And I try to challenge them as much as I can. For example, with Boskovic in Serbia was so fun, So, okay, I think you can attack more linear, I think we can learn this kind of serve, I think, and yes, you want to try, she wants, because I think this kind of player are also used to not be coach and teach, because the coach say, okay, come on, she know what to do, she's the best, I need to take care about the other, and it's correct, but at the same time, they are human beings. Okay, and they want to become better, and they want to become, because they are so strong, they want to stay strong, they want to stay at the top. So you need to, hey, I saw your number, I'm going little down. Okay, and of course little down for Boskovic is to be 55%, while for another player, her top would be 40%.
Right.
But then said 55. I want you. We stay there, so we have to try. We have to do, and that's it. But with all of them, and I remember. I mean, it's fun. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun because they also want to be better. Because when they are so strong, they have a very healthy arrogance. Okay, so they have the arrogance to know that they are very strong, but it's an healthy arrogance that makes them very humble in training to stay at the top and to become the best we can. So that's why also in Vakibank we have a center that we want to be arrogant in the bench and humble in training. And the good players are very humble in training.
Yeah.
They want to become better. They want to improve. They will never come, and train 50%.
Yeah.
This will never happen.
Oh, excellent. And now, on the flip side of that, how do these elite players, again, like Gabby or others, push you to be a better coach?
They push me a lot. They push me a lot because you cannot provide an average training to them. Okay, because they will be unmotivated, they will be unhappy, they will be, disturbed from that, So more the player that you coach are top level player, more you need to provide to them top service. Okay, so I cannot prepare a match, without, be perfect in match preparation. I cannot organize a training in 30 seconds in the car,
Right.
So because they will make me understand that was not good. They will make me understand that was not at the standard they are required, So I really believe that I love five-star hotel because my holiday are so short, that maximum are 2-3 days, they're never long. So because of that, I try to go in the best hotel that I can, So when you are in a five-star hotel, you don't accept that you have a plastic glass in your bathroom. You don't accept that you don't have your little present when you enter in the room. You don't accept that when you call for, better service, they are not go there after 5 minutes because you pay so much.
Mm-hmm.
You pay so much that when you pay so much to have this kind of service, and the same thing, So when a top player come to me, and is a so top level, she expect from my club and from my service, she expect top quality.
Yeah.
And that's why they're challenging me continuously, because I need to give them the best service that I can every time.
Yeah. Excellent. Great answer. And now, since you've been coaching, for a long time, how has the coaching landscape changed to, like today, it seems like there's a more emphasis or awareness of the mental health of your athlete and an open communication from the players to the coaches versus, early 90s where it was almost like, I think of Bobby Knight from college coaching. It was like yell, 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 scream. And today that dynamic has changed to more like feedback.
Yeah, I think that is not so related of ages, but it's relating about the way a person is, the way the coach is, and the way that you want to be. So I believe also if we check, in the history of probably 20-30 years ago, we found great communicator in coaches, not only army style.
Yeah.
Okay, that of course, we found the carpal, but also we found also some years ago, the coach like to really like nowadays. Like nowadays, I know my colleague that this is the way, finish, okay, and there are others that have different ways. So I always believe, in creating a great empathy with the player and empathy with the team because it's the way I like to be. I like to joke with my player. I like to have fun with my player if I can. I like to work 110% when it's time to 100%. But I like this connection. There is one sentence that I love from Andrea Anastasi, one of the best coach in the men field, that he says something beautiful. He say, every day I want to touch all my player like a pianist is touching every taste of this piano,
Yeah.
And so true, I like to do the same, like it's very, very different, to go to you and say, how are you, Barry? Okay. Or, hey, Barry, all okay, how are you? I miss you. All okay, come on, we have a great training today. This touching, is already something very, very different. There was one amazing statistic in NBA that they study the touches between the players.
Yeah.
And they discovered that the team that had the most touches they were the most successful team.
Oh, wow.
Like there is a study that when you hug a person for more than, I think, 7 seconds, is the dopamine effect, the chemical effect is so much higher than if you hug for 2-3 seconds.
Yeah.
Same like for a kiss. So the connection is so important for me. I always believe, there are many successors leadership style, but the way I like to describe mine, is like a servant leader. So this is the way I see. Then it's not the way for everybody, and it's not the only way, and it's not the true way every time, because I can give you 10 names of army style, very successful coaches.
Right.
Okay, so, because at the end, the player, they doesn't matter the way you are coaching them, they deserve respect and they need to trust you. So if I would act like army coach, but then I like to joke with my player because I like to joke, then they would be, what's going on here?
Right.
So he like to joke and then he order me something, so because I would be unreal like an army coach, because
Yeah.
I hate rules, from when I always hate hierarchy, this is really opposite to me, so but if there is an army coach that is an army coach 100%, the player will respect, because it's okay, my coach is like this, he believes in that, he's very authentic, he's very coherent, is English coherent. I mean, he
Coherence.
does
Yes.
he does what he say,
Yep.
so I respect him a lot. Is the that doesn't matter, but and important is to be authentic. It's not is to be the way you are.
Yeah.
And so I always believe in this connection with the player, and will be always my way, so I know that, sometimes players tell me you should be more strong, sometimes colleagues they say you should not let this happen, but this is my way.
Yeah.
It's not that the player is delay one training. I send them home, or I make all team run because of her. It's not my way.
Yeah.
I don't say it's true or wrong. Again, it's just not my way.
Yeah. Yeah, and speaking of that whole communication thing, that was something I saw up in Ottawa. Before your girls were, while they were stretching, I saw you go around to each one of them and just like a tap, high five, and exchange a few words. And I thought that was so amazing and just so helpful for those girls, especially a lot of them was their first VNLs too.
Yeah, but if you come to Vakibank, you will see the same.
Yeah.
I would do the same. Is something that I don't even know when I started to do, and I don't even know when I really decided that is the right thing. But again, the match is our, entered on the stage, and when there is a match, we have to be like this. When there is a match, we have to be connected. When there is a match, we have to fight each other,
Yeah.
When there is a match, I can yell at you, like I say, hey, I don't want you attacking that way, and the next time I want you to argue because you did a great point. So, and then, just I want to go tomorrow there. And sometimes is just everything is okay. Do you need answer from me? Do you have question for me? No, it's okay. Other time is a remind that I need from you this, and this. Other the way is, okay, you will not start today, okay, but be very ready because this will be your position if something goes wrong. It's a mix of everything. It's a mix of tactic. It's a mix of motivation. It's a mix of make the player make clear that the player still understand what is their role for that match and in the team. And yeah, and it's something that I feel to do, and I'm doing often.
Nice. And speaking of Vakibank, for you, you've been there for so long. What is so special about that organization and the fans that have, that it's been a home for you?
Yeah, again, this question can go everywhere, So I wish I can send you, our manifesto. That is something that I create one super early morning, after it was 1 week, 10 days, that the things were not going well. That I think 4 or 5 years ago, so 6 years ago, something like that. But so we have this clear manifesto. So we have this clear rules that are not rules, that are behaviors, that are following our values. And what we try, very hard in Vakibank is to have behaviors that matching our values, because everybody has values. So easy to have values.
Yeah.
Okay, but are the values follow from the behaviors? This is difficult. When a player is tying her shoes. I tell you two things about Vakibank, just because again, this manifesto are 14 points, but I tell you two that for me are three that for me are very important. One, when the players are tying their shoes in the locker room and they open, they watch in front of them, there is a very big sentence that say, your talent brought you in this locker room. Your behavior will decide if you stay or not. Okay, so it's not your trophy, how many points you do,
Right.
your percentage. No, your behavior will decide if you stay or not. That's why sometimes in Vakibank, I say bye to players that are very good players, but they don't have the behavior that we require in an organization like Vakibank.
Yeah.
Second thing, every year we make a breakfast in Turkey. Breakfast is the big thing, like a dinner in Italy kind of, but breakfast is really this thing. And where I want that all the players and all the staff meet and eat and learn the names and as much as we can about their family of all the workers in the gym. Because we want to tell to Dursun, that is the guy that is cleaning our locker room, that if we enter in the gym that have a very clean locker room, we will train better, because we will enter in a nice place that we like, we will train better. And if we train better, we will play better. And if we play better, we will win. And when we win, we will share our bonus, our prize monies with him too.
Nice.
So all we are part of this organization. When we win, we share the money with all organization. And also when we win in Vakibank, we all get the same bonus. So Boskovic will have the same bonus like the massage therapy, same, exactly same. Okay, so we want to really understand that we are one family. And the third thing, that I can, that will explain what is Vakibank, okay, is a rule that we have that we call the one ball virus. How born this rule? This rule born many, many, many years ago, probably was around 2010. Okay, because we won our first Champions League in 2011. So let's say 2010, around this year. And in this time, Bar was playing in this team. My wife, she was great middle blocker. She just stopped now. And the captain of the team is one of my best, friend in the life. That is Gozde Kirdar. And in this training, she was training amazing. You cannot imagine, this training when she was an extraordinary player. And this training, she was defending everything. So wherever you attack, she's in six. Nobody can make a point. And after 2 hours of training, 2 hours, 10 minutes, kind of like that, she was going in defense again. She read very well. Last moment, the block touched the ball and the ball fell down, in opposite direction of her approach. And she didn't fall down. And then I stopped the training. I said, Gosde, why you don't fall down? And she watched with 2 eyes that if she have a gun instead of the eyes, I am not here today. And she told me, but coach, are you joking? You didn't see that I took everything, I defend everything, and you just bother me for one ball. You just have to remind me about one ball that I defend all other 200. That's why we call the one ball virus. And yes, but if I let this one ball to you, then I have to let to this player too. And there's already 2 ball. And I have to let to the other player too.
Yeah.
Already 3 ball. And if we don't collect 3 ball in the next match, probably we lose. And what if you do everything excellent, and we are 14-13 in the tiebreak, and you don't take this ball? That may be the ball that we win the match. So this one ball became, our And the next day, so what happened? So the next day I come in the gym, and with them, I like to make poster, and they said, in gym, we fight the one ball virus. We will never say, but was only one ball. Nobody's allowed to say that. And then after that, 2 years later, 1 year later, we prepare one video so good, that we won one tie break against Conegliam, that we were in the final of Champions League with one incredible action that we saved 3 balls impossible to take, and this captain was there. So but these are the 3 things that I can explain you about Vakibank.
Amazing. That's so cool. And now, before you came to Canada, or before coming to North America, I saw that you actually coached a U.S. team a long time ago. How did you end up here?
Okay, this actually I coached 2 U.S. teams.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know which one you are. Okay, but one I think not many people know. What just many years ago. Again, we go very, very, very long time ago. I cannot even can tell you which age. But I was good with Toshiaki Yoshida, that was a great coach of United States, and his assistant was Kevin Embley, and that is probably the best coach now in US. And I don't even know how we find out, but he asked me to come to Colorado Springs and help him, and I took the American Team B. And I was coaching the American Team B, and I remember we also played one tournament in Salt Lake City. And but again, it's so far, that I don't even remember, but I'm sure it happened. And after that, they asked me, one great guy, Bill Kennedy, that he created the USP volleyball, that was a great man with great family. He wanted to create the first professional league in America. And so I helped him for 1 year. I live in Chicago.
Oh, wow.
And training this team before the league started. Then the league, of course, could not last long because basically there was just this one man behind everything. So it was too much to afford.
Yeah.
And that are my 2 experiences. Then, of course,
okay.
I stay in Europe all my life. And then happened this opportunity with Canada, and I say yes for 2 reasons. One, because I believe the team of Canada can be very good and can be, I don't want to say, between the top team or in Los Angeles, but can be in Los Angeles and fight for a medal. I don't want to say that team better than us, but I believe our full squad plus this new player that we are building and creating now, I think can become a very strong team. And so the chance to go to LA, I don't want to miss this Olympic because I believe it would be very, very nice. So, because it's in the one of the Mecca of volleyball,
right.
California is where,
Karch, Steve Timmons. That's
all this idol of my life. Every time now I am pretty lucky that I am very good friend with Karch, and every time, I feel so blessed that my idol became my friend, and we are talking, exchanging a lot of things, So I believe that Olympic in LA will be pretty fascinating because it's, California and volleyball have great, strong connection. And the second thing, because I'm honest, I really would like to understand. I know everything almost about volleyball in Europe, and so I wanted to understand better what's going on in this part of the world about volleyball.
Okay.
And so I really wanted. I came here really to learn and to know new things that I didn't know before.
Nice. And now, did Kira Van Rieck or Bree or Alexa have any influence on? Hey, yeah, come on over. It's a great spot, or just seeing their work ethic and.
For sure. I have a conversation with all of them, and they were very excited of my coming, and I have the luck to coach Kira, and I feel really blessed and lucky to have coaching my team in Vakibank. So she had an incredible season. She was just super unlucky, to have this bad bronchitis, for the final 4 Champions League, that she was not able to breathe. She didn't train for a long time, but she had an incredible good season, and we won the league because she helped us a lot, and so her mentality, her way to stay in the gym, her professionality, so it pushed me a lot. I always admire Brie, incredible. I put Brie in the best three setter in the world right now, so okay. So when already you have a very strong opposite and you have one of the best setter in the world, then you put Alexa Gray, that is again one of the best position four in the world. So and for me, the most I want to know that I want to use the right name. I mean, but for me, Emily Maglio is to deserve to be named between the best 3-5 middle blocker in the world in the last 5-7 years. I don't know why she don't have this big name, because she really is super strong in everything. Very difficult. Normally, you find middle blockers that are very good blocker, or you find middle blocker that they are very good attacker. Emily is a very good blocker. She can attack front. She can attack one leg. She's serving pretty good. She can control the ball pretty good. She's so complete, So already for excellence in one team,
right,
is a big thing. Then this year, unfortunately, or fortunately, okay, we can see from both sides. I couldn't have them, for different reasons in the team, and that's okay, because probably in the Olympic qualification route this year is obviously the less important, and gave me the chance to work and implement, improve other players. Then that's why I say fortunately. I still believe that, I would have been much more happy to have, those three big names, in the gym. Sometimes, not all the time, just because for the young player, have the chance to train with this big player, would have helped them to improve faster.
Yes.
Anyway, we, not having them gave me a lot of time to work with other players, and I want to believe that it's a great thing.
Yeah, absolutely. And now, for you, when you're not doing anything volleyball related, those short little vacations, or what is something you like to do away from the volleyball gym?
So I discovered again in Canada. I always had, but I didn't have time. I discovered again in Canada my big love for golf. Because it's so easy in Canada. You don't have to be member of any club. You can play whenever you want. You can train, and I love golf. I'm terrible on it, but I love golf also because I believe that all my life I am under a roof, so make a sport activity, outside is beautiful. And of course I love music. So when I attend already this summer to two Coldplay concert, and I will try to attend to one more after World Championship if I can. And then I love visiting city. I love New York. I spend again time with my family there, and I like to try to connect me and my family as much as we can. And I'm very happy that my family loves Vancouver, and my family loves this team. So Alison is, it was a couple times in the training, she was making warm up with the player, and you can see the player are very, very, were very nice with her, so they were not doing because they have to, but they were really in love with the kids, that was so exciting. So yeah, that is pretty much, my free time. That is not much.
Well, Giovanni, thank you so much for doing this. It was wonderful to meet you. But before I let you go, like with past guests, I look for you to recommend somebody in your volleyball circle that, can come on and share their story.
Oof, I have so many.
I know you do. So I'm curious to see who you're going to suggest.
I mean, difficult to reach. I would have Velasco or Bernardo or Zé Roberto. This would be some really incredible coaches that you can talk, and there are really many. I think also Massimo Barbolini is the person that his experience, his passion, his knowledge, his ability, to be very good at coach and incredible assistant to Giulio, and keeping his position. I mean, something Massimo is doing that is very appreciated, and he have experience also in America, so can be a great opportunity.
Yeah.
So I would suggest, one of these 4 big names.
All right. And actually, something else I just wanted to bring up, another great thing I saw in Ottawa with you, before one of your matches, you were sitting with the Holland coach, the Netherlands coach, and you guys were just sitting there, just like two friends engaged in, just a friendly conversation. I thought that was so cool to see, because you don't see that from other sports or anything. I think that's just how great our volleyball world is.
Yeah, can be. Then, one time I have one message from one friend, that he was telling, Giovanni, what are you doing? Are you coaching or are you coaching the coaches? Because he made a research, and I don't remember the number exact, but I believe that more than 10 mine assistant coaches, they became very good head coaches,
Yeah.
Also in Turkey there was something like this, and they made me the question, and then I answer, okay, so if this happened, I think there are 2 theories. One, that I show them a great job that they like to do.
Mm-hmm.
2, I was so bad that they want to do better than me. So one, these are the 2, and Felix is one of them. So we worked together 8 years in Germany. So I took him that he was really 19 years old. I just took him because, like many times I do, I took young guys that are very good player, and then it happened that they become amazing coaches,
Yeah.
So and Felix is one of them. I mean, again, there are more than 10, so I don't want to tell all of them, but yeah, it's one of the ones that I'm very connected. But if you see before every match, 90% between us, we like to talk,
Yeah.
and we know each other from a long time. Of course, there are the coaches I like to talk more, coaches that I like to talk less. That is pretty normal. But
Yeah.
it is volleyball is still a very pure, in this world. But I would say pure and nice part about that.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, Gio, thank you so much. Good luck in the World Championships and next season.
Thank you very much. It will be difficult for us, and we will have the same squad, kind of the same squad like VNL.
Yeah.
So we have to fight, but this team showed me that can fight a lot.
Excellent.
Hey, she's a beauty.